Hey guys, Philosopher here, and I want to give you an update on the state of the game and talk about how I think MSF is going to change now that we've gotten more feedback from the devs. Now, I can't tell you, the Envoys did have a meeting with Cerebro and Lori, who works with him today. Can't really tell you anything that was discussed, at least I don't believe so. I think that was all NDA sort of stuff. But I want to talk to you about how I'm feeling about things, and I want to talk to you about the feedback I gave them. And I'm going to start by saying, so first of all, I'm not going to reveal to you things that the developer said or that the Scopely said. I'm also going to tell you that to the extent I'm telling you my views about certain things, some of you know I'm a lawyer. I am not giving you legal advice. I'm not your lawyer. Go hire a lawyer if you need one. I'm not your lawyer. Okay, I know a lot of you in the comments want me to start lawsuits and stuff. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video, though, I want to talk to you about some of the problems in the game and what I think is going to be happening. And one of the biggest problems is exploits. And we all know that the last milestone, they keep doing these milestone events, leaderboard events, and the last leaderboard event they did where they had donations from alliances was a total cluster, where to use a shortened version of the phrase, it was a total mess, and people were exploiting to get extra credit for extra donations. And people who followed the rules didn't do that. And when you say, well, wait, Philosopher, what are the rules? Why is that against the rules? I know a lot of you in the comments are like, shut up, Philosopher. Don't ruin what we're doing. It's totally fine. So there is something that you probably have clicked one too many times in this game called the Terms of Service down here. And in the Terms of Service, which is the contract that we have with Scopely that you basically have no choice but to agree to if you want to play this game, we are not supposed to be taking advantage, right, of bugs in the game or things like that to get an advantage, right? And we know that sometimes Scopely thinks that when we take advantage of bugs, that's wrong and they'll do something about it. And other times they just look the other way. And I would say more often than not, they look the other way. And why do they look the other way? Well, because, and this is my opinion, I'm not telling you what Scopely told me, but my opinion is it takes them more work and effort to investigate and figure out whether somebody's intentionally misusing a bug or whether they just by mistake use a bug than it's worth. And so they just don't want to be the police of this game, and they just are not going to put the effort into doing it. We saw it a year ago when that guy Captain Ireland or whatever was he had a 7-star Silver Surfer when everyone else in the game only could have a 2-star. Back when it was super rare, those shards were totally gated. We've seen it more recently in this event, right? There's been no compensation to people who did not cheat, like myself, and the people who cheated, as far as I know, they got nothing, no penalty. And I will tell you what I told Cerebro, which is the message that the community is hearing is go ahead and exploit bugs. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't think the devs are going to do much of anything about it. What I do think that they will do, in my opinion, I think that they will try to make sure that the newest leaderboard is, the new leaderboard that they're creating for this horseman thing is not a total mess. I think they're going to try to find some way to deal with this, but the really best way to deal with this would be to not create important rewards based on leaderboards. And I will tell you, I very bluntly gave this feedback to Cerebro and Lori. In my opinion, this system of rewarding things is bad for players. It's bad because people can exploit their way to the top, as they do whenever we have a leaderboard that gives rewards in this game. But I'll just say to you, I think it's bad for players for another reason, which is you don't know what you're getting, right? If they tell us that only the top 100 people are going to get a 7-star Morgan Le Fay, you can better believe that there's going to be people, spending a ton of money, doing everything possible to create the biggest, best teams and run this 1,000 times to get the best score because they want to get the 7-star Morgan Le Fay. And it's essentially, I think the way Mobile Gamer puts it is he calls it a blind auction, where essentially you don't know whether you'll be in the top 100. You don't know how well you're going to do. Being 101st is a real problem, so you basically are just overdoing it to make sure you're in the top 100. And I think that Scopely has done some data or analysis or whatever and has figured out that they make a lot more money doing this. So they're not going to give up this business model. If you notice now that instead of just having events where there's milestones, where what you just do the milestones and you're getting them, now what they do is they have these leaderboard sort of things where, hey, the top 1 to 100, and you don't know if you're going to be in the top 1 to 100, will get a 6 red star echo or whatever they're giving you. The reason they do that is because they make more money that way. The problem is that they are not going to fix this exploit problem. That's not me repeating what they told you, because they didn't. I'll just say this: they didn't say that. I'm telling you that's what I believe based on everything that I know. That's what I believe, and that's my takeaway. This problem's not going to be solved. They may do something about this specific issue, about this specific character, but this system is not going to change. What I think is going to happen, though, and I will give Scopely credit for this, they do listen to us. And I don't think I'm violating the NDA by saying, as usual, Cerebro was very polite. He listened to everything we had to say. He's very respectful. And I commend him for that. He's a very respectful person. He does listen to our feedback. I think they hear everything we have to say. And there are some games out there where the developers don't listen at all. So I give them credit for it. So I think we're going to get more stuff like this where they give us blog posts that say, okay, we really care. We're doing all this stuff. We're trying to fix bugs and other things, which is great. I also think they're going to do things what I'll call around the edges. Okay? This is a new data mine, which many of you may have seen. They're going to add some additional milestones to the raid milestones. They're going to put Ghost Spider in there. They're adding milestones with some teal gear and some more armory fragments and yada yada. It's all stuff tinkering around the edges. That's what I think is going to happen in this game, because right now this game's gotten very expensive, particularly at the high end. If you want to keep up with the players who are whaling, it's very expensive. They've made it so you don't even know what you're getting. It's not like you could just be like, okay, I have to do XYZ to get my 5-star X-Force or my 5-star Nick Fury or whatever to unlock Omega Red or to unlock Doc Ock or whatever you're trying to unlock. Now it's, these leaderboards and whatever. I think that part of this game, that part of it that's becoming less predictable is not going to change. And I think it's a major problem with this game. It's a major problem for this game, because the fun of this game and part of what we do in this game, right, is this is a roster building game. It's a resource management game where you collect resources and you have to decide how to deploy them. And what it seems to me like now is we've gotten more stuff where Scopely's trying to trick you into blowing resources, right? Things like Nowhere Heist, which is genuinely a heist. It's very properly named as a heist, because the heist is stealing our materials on garbage characters like Star-Lord and Rocket, and loading us up on to create certain bottlenecks, and then on top of it, they are finding ways to, I would say, incentivize us to spend more gear on more characters wider. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, because they're just making too much money doing it. Now, a lot of you are going to say in the comments, well, Philosopher, then stop spending money on the game. Stop playing the game. And maybe I will. But I care about the game. I put enough time to the game, and I feel a sense of responsibility as somebody who has a voice in the community. So I'm telling you now what I told the devs and I think I've made our views very clear. I'm going to try to have a separate meeting and try to have additional conversations with them, but I'm not optimistic right now. I think they hear us. I think they're going to do some things to appease us. That's the word I would use, appease us. But at the core, I don't think that they can fix the integrity of the game issue with exploits. I just don't think they are willing to devote the resources it would take to police that properly. And I don't really believe that they are going to change the core issues that they're creating in the game by creating so much uncertainty. Because by creating a lot of uncertainty, I don't know what to build. I don't know what to recommend you guys to build right now. I don't know, what we're going to be getting with these horsemen. I mean, you know what I fully expect? I'm going to give you a prediction inspired by somebody in my chat who just suggested this today. I predict that they're going to make each horseman harder to get, right? They'll make the first horseman easier to get, and then they'll make them progressively harder. So then you'll feel like, well, you've unlocked 2 of them. I guess I've got to spend to unlock the 3rd or whatever. I think this game is getting so player unfriendly, and that is not going to change because I just think they're making too much money doing so. And that is my feedback to you after our conversation with the developers. I think they say a lot of the right things. They're certainly polite people, but the bottom line, I don't see changing in this game, at least anytime soon. All right, guys. Wish I had better news, but that's the bottom line. I hope you didn't dislike this video. I liked it. I liked it because I'm at least telling you the truth as I see it. So please smash that like button, subscribe to this channel. If you got comments, questions, cheers, put them below. Or put it in my Discord. That's linked below. You can also go to my Twitch stream. That's linked below too.